Hey, what is up, everyone? This is Juicy Hockey with Gordo. I am your host, Gordon Maxwell. Today, we're going to be recapping a stellar performance by Sergei Bobrovsky, the brick wall 3-0 win against the New York Rangers. And we're going to be talking about the previewing of tonight's game between the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers, and the juiciest rumors in the NHL and the latest gossip in the NHL. Let's get to it. Well, it was no surprise. It was no surprise for game one. Matthew Tkachuk does it again. I mean, he is made for the playoffs. He's that old school blue collar type of player. He had that starting off that goal in the first period. He definitely set the tone already. And listen to this. Listen to this. You know, in 5 career Eastern Conference Finals games, 5 goals, 4 game winners, 2 OT goals, 7 points, and 13 hits. This man is made for the playoffs. And then the statistically speaking is that 67.9% of teams that win game one in the round before the finals have advanced to the Stanley Cup final. Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, lads, I should say. I mean, the Florida Panthers, you know, it's unbelievable. Matthew Tkachuk is that player. Scored a goal and an assist on the game-winning goal in each of his 5 career conference final games. And I got to say, Tkachuk became the first player in NHL history with 4 game-winning goals through his first 5 contests in the conference finals before making it to the Cup finals. And I got to say, what a game. The Panthers dominated in the neutral zone, defensive, strong grit. And, you know, the Rangers, they had some opportunities in the third period. You know, Bob was just the wall. You know, it was like Pink Floyd, all in all, just another brick in the wall. And I got to say, that was a great game. You know, and there was a controversial call, Lomberg being pushed in there, but pushed into Shesterkin, and they said it was no goal, which I agree, but you know, it was no goal, and they're going to say, oh, it was a goal, but no, it was no goal. And, you know, you got to give the credit, you know, to the Florida Panthers depth. That was a great job they did. They did a great job all around. Paul Maurice and his staff have done a splendid, spectacular job. And it's no joke here. The Panthers getting that game one win at Madison Square Garden, very crucial, because getting a win on the road is one of the best things so they can claim as home ice advantage. And I got to say, the road team does better than the home team does. And the Panthers are one of the best road teams, is the best road team in the NHL right now. And Carter Verhaeghe sealed the deal. And I'm not surprised about this one because, you know, Shesterkin tried to clear the puck, turns it over, and Verhaeghe gets it, and then Lafreniere tries to clear it and puts the puck in his own net. Does that feel like it's 1986 all over again with the old Steve Smith on Grant Fuhr? I got to say yes. And Benny and the Jets, we should say Benny and the Panthers, Bennett gets that game-winning goal in the empty netter, 3-0. And Bob was, like I said, shut out, stopped all 24 shots. And the only way the New York Rangers are going to do is, you know, I know the fans are going to be like complaining, saying, oh, we need to bring in, you know, Matt Rempe to set the tone and scare the Panthers. They don't feel like they're intimidated. And if you look at their plus minus, Bread and Loft, they were both -3. Like, that is embarrassing on their part. And that's their top players. And Adam Fox and Gustafson, they all had -2. Lindgren had a -1. And Trocheck was a -2. You know, I love Trocheck. Vinny and I knew each other back in the day when I was with the Panthers. And, you know, the reason why he wore 16 because he has so much respect for his old teammate and friend, Sasha Barkov. And I expect game 2 to be very highly competitive again, but are we going to see somewhat of a deja vu like from last year? But I don't know. We have to anticipate what's the situation going to be. Yeah, and I thought the Panthers played well. They they did what they did. Got got the dub on the road, and if I were the Rangers, I would push the panic button if they're down 2-0 in the series. The rain, and don't forget, and it's kind of eerie that the Panthers won game 1 against the Rangers back in '97, just like last night. But who knows? I gotta say, the Florida Panthers did a spectacular job, and you got to give Kachuk a +3. Him and Lundell is becoming the epicenter. Like he's up for a new contract, and Anton Lundell is going to be a second line center. He's the finished version of Vincent Trocheck. I really like what I saw last night. It was a good game. Florida Panthers, no surprise, 3-0. And I knew this game was going to go under, and we were right on that one. Oh, yeah. I was very happy and satisfied for those results. All right. We'll be back after these messages. Coming up, we'll be talking about the preview of game 1 between the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. We'll be back after these messages. All right. We are back here in Juicy Hockey. Okay. We got a very juicy matchup in the conference finals between the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. And this is no merry-go-round. This is the first time that these two teams are playing against each other in the playoffs since 2003. And they've had a historic rivalry in the playoffs starting in the 1997, where the Edmonton Oilers had Dougie Weight, Curtis Joseph on that team, and they beat the Dallas Stars, who were the number 1 seed at the time. And the Oilers went to the second round and lost to the Colorado Avalanche 1 year later. They played against each other against Dallas and lost to the second round, lost to Dallas again in 99 and in 2001 and in 2003. Yeah, so I'm anticipating this rivalry, this series is going to be very close. Look at the goals per game. They're both even at 3.6 per game, and goals against, same thing. We're going to see a lot of 1-goal games in this series. And there's been speculation that this series, whoever gets to the Stanley Cup Finals, one of them gets home ice advantage against Florida, and the other doesn't get home ice advantage against the Florida Panthers. And if the Rangers win the series, both of these Western teams will be not home ice advantage. It would be all New York Rangers. Yeah, look at this. Power play goals, Oilers got 64. The Oilers got 64. Dallas 58. Power play percentage is almost even. Power play goals against, Oilers, 53-43 Dallas Stars. The penalty kill, Dallas 82, 79.5 for the Oilers. Shorthanded goals, Dallas, you got that one. I'm going to say this series is going to be it's going to go 7 games. And, the concern factor we've heard is that Jake Onger had a little bit of a tweak at morning skate. But Pete DeBoer said he is ready to go. It was no big deal. It was just a precautionary. And like I said, this series is going to be a fun one to watch. We got White Johnston and Jason Robertson against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and Zach Hyman. We're going to see a very fun game. And tonight we've got the Dallas Stars at home with a -130, while the Oilers are at +110. And the over and under, I'm going to go with over on this one. It's going to be an over, and I see this game going to be won by either 1 goal or 2 goals at this game tonight. Overall, I am going to go with the Dallas Stars for game 1 tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised if it will be like Edmonton against Vancouver the previous round. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But we would love to see, this go deep, deep, deep. Like I said, I'm going to go Dallas tonight. Final score, it will be 5-3 Dallas Stars. Yeah, you heard it here. Dallas Stars win 5-3 against the Edmonton Oilers. And we are out of time on this segment. Coming up, we are going to be talking about the latest, juiciest rumors and news headlines in the NHL. We'll be back after these messages. All right, we are back. So we had some breaking news is that we have the nominees for the GM of the year. And I got to say, great candidates. They have built tremendous franchises and making them relevant and great. All right, we've got the Vancouver Canucks. Patrick Elv, who's the GM of the Vancouver Canucks. Turnaround season, unbelievable, making it to the second round of the playoffs, and they won the Pacific Division. And it's a great Cinderella story. And we all heard that Rick Tocchet, who won the Jack Adams Award for his great work for the Vancouver Canucks. And the second candidate for the GM of the Year award, Jim Nill of the Dallas Stars. Jimmy Nill, brilliant man. He is one of the Detroit Red Wings legends in the front office and executives. He learned a lot from Mr. Jimmy Devellano and brought his staff, half the Red Wings staff, down to Dallas. And Stevie Y. Eiserman brought his staff from the Red Wings down to Tampa and brought some of them back up there. And Jim Nill, he's got a very good Dallas Stars squad, and he definitely reminds me of the Red Wings from back in the day. And Dallas Stars are a very strong, consistent, contending team, and they could actually make this Stanley Cup final interesting. Whoever they play against. Yeah, I really respect that. And the final candidate for the third consecutive year is Florida Panthers GM Bill Zito. He is single-handedly one of the best GMs in the NHL and the best in Florida Panthers history. This man has transformed this franchise, like from night and day. This man is brilliant. He knows how to win. And it sucks for Columbus Blue Jackets that they let him walk out, and Bill Zito built a perennial contender. And his IQ's through the roof. And I would like to see that whoever wins this award, I would love to be surprised, but I'm not gonna ruin the ending for everyone. Like, I'm gonna say this: whoever wins the Stanley Cup or gets there the closest will be the GM of the year. That's just my prediction, my guess right there. Yeah, so whoever gets to the finals closest and whoever wins it is the GM of the year for this year. All right, so we've all heard that Patrick Kane possibly going back to Chicago and play for the Blackhawks with Connor Bedard. It's a very strange saga. We all expected and thought he was going to go stay in Detroit, play there for another 3 years, play with his buddy Alex DeBrincat. But if I was Patrick Kane, why would I go back to Chicago? Well, it was a messy divorce a few years ago. I would not want to go back. The way the Blackhawks are ran, I wouldn't. I would stay in Detroit. Detroit's up and coming. Blackhawks, they are rebuilding, and the Blackhawks and Kane, Kane does not want to go back to where it was a bad, infamous situation with the whole video coach with Kyle Beach. I wouldn't go back. I would not go back. I got my 3 cups. I want to start build a new legacy in Detroit and see what else I got, and plus, why would he go back as well? You just got your hip replaced and you're going to get your ass kicked, and the Blackhawks are a basement franchise. I would stay in Detroit any day of the week. The Red Wings are a perfect fit for Patrick Kane, and Patrick Kane is a perfect fit for them. So, anywho, so we've heard that Mark Savard, the former winger, played for the Thrashers and the Bruins and the Calgary Flames, who basically has stepped away from the Calgary Flames. Back in the day, Mark Savard, hell of a playmaker, great power play specialist, but the numbers we've seen in the last few years, not pretty at all. They've been having the worst power play in the NHL this past season, 7th worst. And there's been speculation that Mark Savard could be going to the Maple Leafs to be Craig Berube's assistant coach to work on the power play. I wouldn't mind that. That would be a smart move on their part. Okay, and now let's get to the juicy rumors of the day. All right, here we go. So Adam Henry could return to the lineup for the Oilers a game 1 or 2 against the Dallas Stars. He's missed all but one game through the series. He's been dealing with ankle injury, and he is a very valuable player when it comes to secondary scoring and depth in the special teams. And then, like I said earlier, with Jake Oettinger left practice on Wednesday with an illness. However, DeBoer is confident that Oettinger will be ready to go for game 1, and the game will be tonight on TNT at 8:30. And then sideline Rope Hens with the upper body injury with the risk, and Yanni Hakabana, he has got a lower body injury, remains day to day. And there's no surprise that Sheldon Keefe is the new coach of the New Jersey Devils, signs a 4-year deal. His record with the Maple Leafs, he's been all 5 years in the playoffs, 212, 97, and 40. And don't forget about that 1 year they had that division title, the Canadian division, during the shortened season of 2020-2021. And there were rumors that Sheldon Keefe was supposedly going to go to the Penguins and Mike Sullivan going to the New Jersey Devils, but that deal never panned out. If that would have happened, it would have been, a couple draft picks traded for each other to make the deal happen. But it was never going to happen either way. And we've heard that yesterday Jim Hill, the former Northern Michigan Wildcat alum, is now officially the head coach full-time of the LA Kings with his record of 21-12-1 in 34 games, getting to the playoffs and losing to the Oilers in 5 games, but they were 3rd seed in the Pacific Division. Yeah. And the LA Kings have granted the San Jose Sharks permission to talk to Marco Sturm, former San Jose Shark and head coach of the German national team. And I got to say, Marco Sturm, the Sharks need a familiarity face, and I think Marco Sturm will be a perfect fit for the job. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are looking to have Jaromir Jagr return to the Pittsburgh Penguins, not as an official capacity. And I would love for him to play 1 more year in the NHL, work in an official capacity in the club, and play 1 more year. Yags still needs to get – I would love to see Jagr get a goal and or an assist against Seattle and Vegas so Jagr can collect his dough and he'd be like, okay, we got the situation saying that now I can retire from playing. And Freddie, we're going to go to South Beach. And I'm like, hell yeah, we're going to South Beach. And everyone's like, Gordo, what the hell? You and Yogs are hanging out doing crazy things. What are you doing? I'm like, come on. It's Yogs. Yogs can do whatever he wants. He's Ferris Bueller. He's Ferris Bueller of the NHL. Oh, yeah. And we've got more headlines to talk about. Get ready for this, guys. Get ready for this. Sorry. We've got a little bit of a tech glitch right there. But like I said, having Jagr come back into the NHL, what will this do to his team he owns in the Czech Republic? That's a concern I've got for Jagr potentially returning to the NHL in an executive role. But that makes me worry. it makes me worry that, he's going to lose his team that his father, grandfather built and stuff. But all right, here we go. We've got ourselves more rumors in the rumor mill. Yeah, Carolina Hurricanes. We've been hearing that the Carolina Hurricanes, they are a very strict, stern team when it comes to the checkbook. And there has been speculation that Marnekas, Brady Shea, there's going to be a whole potential rebuild. But overall, if I were Carolina, I would try to make deals compromisable. And the Boston Bruins have been talks with Leon Draisaitl next summer, a potential $15 million per year, 47, and the Bruins have a projected $47 million cap room in 25-26. However, that will shrink considerably once they make the move happen. And this is why I do not want to sign a major key player. It is a bold and stupid move. I mean, if you're that desperate, and wanting a player to help your depth chart, you have, Pasternak have a centerman to help him play. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the idea of Leon going to the Boston Bruins. It's a bad omen. It's a bad way of doing it. I think the Bruins need to figure out, they need to get Swayman signed, trade Allmark. They got a lot of decisions to make in the offseason. We've got Jay Gensel's a free agent. You got Reinhart, Patrick Kane, Tyler Toffoli, Marchessault, free agents. The Bruins are going to be heavy buyers, but will they have enough to get what they need for the upcoming season? It's going to be a very difficult offseason for both Carolina and Boston. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are considering of re-signing Marcus Pettersson, and he's entering his final year of his 5-year deal of $4,025,000. And he's got 8 teams with a carry no trade list. He's put a career high 30 points in 82 games. He had a plus 28. But the question is the budget. It's all about the budget. It's all about the scenario. If I were the Penguins, I would keep Pettersson. Like the defense is getting old, but Pettersson's still in his prime. He's 28. He would be a perfect set for him to stay in the Berg for another couple of years. So, like I said, another one, Mira Heiskanen, he is going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy for the Dallas Stars. He could be a Conn Smythe Trophy winner, and I say Mira Heiskanen is a dangerous player on the PP, and he's a heck of a two-way player and a great skater. I would watch out for him. If I was the Oilers, I would contain him. But the Stars, they're going to try to contain, their offensive firepower. And, Shaq Hyman's going to be in that paint a lot in the house. He's going to do his job. I wouldn't be surprised Zach Hyman's going to get a goal, maybe 2 goals tonight. I wouldn't be surprised, but the bottom 6 needs to get things going, get the secondary thing going, but it's going to be somewhat top 6 for the Oilers, and then Dallas is going to basically have everybody around, and the old saying goes, expect the unexpected. I feel that Dallas is going to have a guy who, like, under the radar is going to get something done. He's going to be a heck of a contributor in tonight's game. Same thing goes for the Oilers. All right, we have enough time for the day. This has been Juicy Hockey with Gordon Maxwell. I'm your host. Have a great rest of the day, and God bless America. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about tonight's game and previewing tomorrow night's game. Have a great day, everybody.